Welcome to PlayRust PublicRadio, the first and only radio station on Rust, now in podcast format. PRPR is broadcast to a headset on you from a trailer park in the PlayRust Public server, the official Rust Reddit server, now an official server.
Official motherfucker. Lost, hopeless, friendless, lacking life purpose? Me too.
From your basic quarry running needs to supplying World War IV, OTP&M has all your oil and mineral needs.
One True Petroleum and Mineral is a family-run conglomerate bringing new jobs to PlayRust Public, all while profiteering off war, like any effective mom-and-pop business. Thanks, OTP&M. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Moving on to the actual show. PlayRust PublicRadio, the PlayRust server has gone official. Facepunch Studios picked them up as one of the official Rust servers, which means there's finally an official server that has admins.
A beautiful, good admins to boot. I, for one, am thankful for our admin overlords.
Yeah, no, really, they care a lot. Ruigi is a great admin. Valiantium, he's not in the public face, but he does a lot of shit behind the scenes to make sure the server and r/PlayRust itself runs really well.
Yeah, even this last update, there was some minor, I guess network issues or something like that. And right after the update was there, they were on talking to us in server, saying, hey guys, is it still laggy? What do we need to do? They immediately started kicking very, very high ping players, trying to help the rest of us. They have our well-being in mind, and it's refreshing, honestly.
Yeah, I was worried for a little while I might get kicked because, my ping was not that great on there. And, I think I played on another server right after the wipe for a day just to dick around. And even on there, I was getting really shit. Like, everything was happening bad. Some people would get lag spikes that would literally embed them in the ground.
I got that a few times. I stopped leaving the house with things because I was going to get stuck in the ground and have to relog and, be vulnerable and asleep on the ground the entire time. It was scary.
Yeah, I was working most of those days, so I wasn't really able to experience it that much, but I sure as shit watched the shitstorm go down on Reddit.
Oh man, it was a mess. It really was. But I actually kind of forgot about that until you mentioned it because it hasn't happened since then. I guess that they released a hot fix shortly after that update, just a server-side update, and so we immediately updated ours, and I think that fixed the getting stuck in the ground problem.
Yeah, as soon as there was a fix available, Valiantium applied it, and things apparently got a lot better. Granted, there's still lag spikes and all sorts of craziness that are going on, like frame rate drops, but that's all a Rust problem right now for various people.
But anyways, back to our humble little server. We now have multiple instances of it. There's the official one, of course. Right when we went official, they made a copy of it, the map, the build, the everything, and made a community community version of it also. So if you didn't want to play on the official server with the potential problems that comes with that, you could hop on community.
The community server, once the wipe happens for the map, the community server and the official server will have separate seeds and separate everythings. So, now is a good time to kind of make up your mind where you want to play. Really just the rule of thumb is if you want a higher population Reddit server, you go on the official server, and if you want a lower population, kind of more laid back, you go on the community server.
Now, going official has a couple potential weird... It makes changes to the server. A lot of stuff changes, basically. and it's good or bad depending on who you are. Of course, like you said, there's a population boost, but it also means that a lot of new players stumble into our server, whereas before new players would end up in the other big servers. If I'm brand new and I saw Rustopia with like 200 people on it, I'd be like, oh shit, that's awesome, and join it immediately, and then of course
quit the game.
Hate life. Yeah, quit right away because just get destroyed. But I don't know, I kind of enjoy not only the population boost, but the new players. It's refreshing. I feel like we have a lot of the same people coming and going on the server. Occasionally new people, but never new to the game. What do you think about it?
I'm still kind of fenced on how I feel about this, but at the same time, I know it's not going to be a bad thing for our server. We get the large player boost. There are new players. There is the concern over hackers because the official servers that are ran by Facepunch don't have admins, and that's given official servers a bad name, even though we have Rustified as an official server, and that has very, very, caring admins. And we have admins that kind of have the same mentality, ban hackers, We have an email address. It's like PlayRustPublic@gmail or some shit like that. Don't quote me on it. Yeah.
Quoted.
Crap. Yeah. But we have an email address for our server to get a hold of admins if there's any problems, because they can't be on all the time. But we have enough variety in our admins that if you email that, they get notifications on their phone and shit. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
It's just an assumption, though, but I get notifications on my phone when I get emailed.
It's good, though. It is. I don't know about you. Have you ever experienced an actual hacker on our server? I've seen accusations. I don't think we've ever actually had a hacker, though.
There was one a couple weeks ago who was flying through buildings, and he had hit our neighbor's house, Waffles. He had hit them and took everything they owned before moving on. Barely missed the radio station, and he was banned within an hour after getting on the server. Granted, he caused some damage, but he was banned an hour later.
Yeah. So I don't know. It does increase the potential for hackers, but I'm also not too worried about it. Like we've said, like we've drilled into y'all's minds, we have good admins. I don't think there's much to worry about. The other thing is official servers tend to get DDoSed a little bit more. I know less about this than you do because I think I said this last episode. When I think DDoS, I thought they grew computers on a farm and made those computers bust down servers, but I also don't know how technology works. Are we at risk?
Anybody's at risk for DDoSing, really. Pretty much anybody that has an Amazon account can DDoS someone because you have access to Amazon servers and stuff like that. But it is hilariously easy to DDoS. It is so easy to DDoS, and it's a major problem in computing, but the anti-DDoS measures are getting better every year. It all depends really on whether the server host has DDoS protection.
I didn't realize there was a thing as DDoS protection.
Yeah, you basically check the location of packets coming in, the frequency of them. There's ways to check. It's not an easy thing, which is why a lot of server hosts just don't have it, and they'll drop you the second you got DDoSed. Fragment.
Right. Okay. All right, I got you. I didn't realize it makes sense now that you say it. Just figure out where it's coming from and block that specific avenue that it's all coming from. It makes sense. But I don't know. I haven't seen us get DDoSed yet. Who knows? Maybe in the future, but we're fine. Honestly, I'm happy that it's going official. We have a lot of new players, a lot of population. It makes it all a bit more exciting. And if you're that kind of person, more faces to shoot.
The server has definitely gotten a lot more interesting to play on. That's for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of people making teams too. It'll be cool, especially with we've got a bunch of industry things coming, like
electricity.
Electricity is the big one. I think horse is the even bigger one. I'm just happy that we're getting a population boost before a lot of this cool stuff comes out, because it's going to be even crazier after all this cool shit gets added in. But electricity actually got mentioned. You sent me that link. Tell them about it. What did you see?
Did we discuss it on the show with the I think we discussed it in the first podcast, how I was hoping it would be kind of Nikola Tesla style, like area electricity.
Yeah, I think so. I had a simultaneous electricity and horse boner.
Yeah, we gotta work on your thing with horses.
Yeah, man. Sorry, dude. I'm working on it. I've got therapy.
But yeah, basically, for the time being, Gary said he'd like to have, wires and stuff. They have to keep collider counts down because of how Unity works. For now, it's you have a electricity producing station, and you have battery units that you put in it. You charge those battery units, then you put those battery units in your output, which will broadcast electricity over a certain area.
Which is cool. Honestly, I wanted to be able to physically wire stuff up just because that would make for a lot of fun. I enjoy stuff like redstone in Minecraft we were talking about earlier. It's just fun setting up a big redstone circuit to do something and trying to figure things out. But I understand the limitations, and this is fine. This will make it a lot easier, because I'm not always going to want to wire some shit up. It's just when I'm feeling creative. So I'll take the easy route.
People like us, we're going to be fucking stealing electricity like good old Trailer Park Boys.
Absolutely. Just plop down a battery charger or something in someone else's electrical field and charge it up and bring it back home.
I wonder if we could do shit like that. I hope we could do shit like that.
I hope. Fuck a utility bill.
Yeah, right? I'm sitting at $100 every month on my utility bill.
Suck a dick, Duke Energy.
I don't know what...
Ooh, people are going to make power plants. That's going to be a big thing, is making an energy plant.
Things are starting to gear up. We got cars on the horizon. We got horses.
Oh my god.
We got fucking all sorts of good shit.
You think we'll have electric cars, like a higher tier car that runs on electricity?
I hope we see like Teslas driving around the hills.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Like you upgrade your car, and instead of having to waste crude oil and low grade fuel on it, you just power up a battery, maybe solar power. That's the other thing. How do you think you're gonna gather electricity?
Windmills. To start.
Those are already in, or were concepted, weren't they?
No, they're already made. They're built. They're animated and everything. You can place them if you're an admin.
Oh, very cool. Windmills, I would imagine there'd be a generator of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't you think, wouldn't,
fuel,
tiers?
Convert fuel to electricity, or windmills which may produce less electricity, or at least not stable electricity. Who knows? I'm sure they have ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool, I think. Tiers. I just really want solar energy just because... I don't know. I think that's the coolest shit. That could be like the top tier. It's really effective.
There should literally be a treadmill that you run on to create electricity, and we could like pay slaves to run on
pay hamsters. Advertise in chat. Need 2 hamsters for electricity. That'd be great.
All right, so I'm running over the rest updates. Twitter, which, mind you, by the time the episode comes out, all this stuff will have been added. So we are behind. If you want to actually see the update stuff, go to Fado's video. He'll have it up by the time we're up. Well, before we're up.
We're professionally behind.
We record on Wednesday, so we got this. But neither of us edit that fast.
No,
all right.
Sorry.
They added in the bear trap animation. I wonder which one they went with. The one where you're on the ground, like, screaming and, like, just writhing in pain, which I loved. You like the standing up one where you're just like, oh.
I like the standing, because, I mean, think about it. If you get your leg caught in a bear trap, you
can
can't
definitely
fall
over.
over. Like, you can't go to the ground. If it stays straight up like it does, you'd have to break your shin to fall over.
No, man. I mean,
Unless you fell straight back and bent at the knee, but I don't think they did in the animation.
Yeah, dude, these things don't weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
I mean, yeah, but still, they stay straight up in the game. I don't know. I like the one where you're caught and you're standing up just because that'll make it easier to shoot the guy that you just trapped in your bear trap. Also, do you think you're going to be able to get yourself out of a bear trap? Or is it like you're stuck for a certain amount of time and then you get out? How do you think that's going to work?
I don't know. I mean, they have the mechanic with the mine where someone else has to disarm it. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe it'll knock you down and whatnot, and you can do it yourself. I don't know. That's interesting.
I think I'd like to see you get stuck, you step in it, you get trapped, and there's a certain amount of time that you can't actually undo it. But then once that time limit is up, you can look down and undo the thing.
True. Who knows?
I think that would make it, otherwise it'd just be, you get caught, you look down, you hit the button, and you move again with a whole bunch of damage, sure.
I'd like to see it where we can walk around with a bear trap on our leg.
And make the noise, too. Footstep, clunk. Footstep, clunk. You can, hear a guy running up with it.
Alright, so, let's see. They added in a wounded animation for if you get shot in the arm by a gun. That's cool and all, but they're doing something interesting. And people are speculating madly, because the updates they're gray boxes, which I believe is just the bare, untextured, mesh of, model.
Yeah.
They're in the folder /main/dungeons. So, are these gonna be, some kind of dungeony, or... people are asking if we're gonna get dungeons. They got sewers, gray box, they got train wagons. Let's see, what else do they got? They got walls and fences, they got some kind of, stone slabs. They're doing climate tweaks. Let's see, is there any more on those dungeons thing? I'm not seeing any more dungeon stuff, but they're doing some.
Wow.
They're doing a lot of. I'm hoping we see a more fleshed out world. With the radtowns.
That's interesting. They said one of them was it train tracks or train car?
Looks of it.
Gray box. I thought I saw something about train tracks, but still, a train car would imply train tracks. Which in my mind thinks tunnels,
or maybe a type of train track that goes throughout the map as well. Much like we have the roads, we have train tracks, bridges, and whatnot. And I'm hoping we could build mobile train track based bases.
Hand cars.
I love you.
Well, yes, your bases sound very cool, but a fucking hand car, you get on with your buddy and you have to click rhythmically to go. You get jumped and you just have to click faster and try to scoot away from them before they get you.
And then you got your buddy standing on it, fucking crouched, shooting everybody. You got a fucking train by on your hands.
Yes. That'd be a good stepping stone to cars, because it's a vehicle that you're stuck to and moving in. Not free riding,
I had the weirdest dream a good number of years ago. It was post-apocalyptic and everybody had these train houses, I guess, right? So we'd travel the world or the country on these trains, which were bases, and they had turrets on them and shit. Mind you, my dream state mind didn't think of what if you run into someone else, No, everybody had their own track. It was dumb. It was dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
but that's kind of what I pictured when I heard trains in this game, a bunch of angry naked Newmen on a train.
Oh my god.
Barreling across the countryside, shooting at people.
Furiously shoveling coal into the front to keep it going. Throwing low-grade fuel into it to keep the thing running. Billowing smoke out. People waiting on the side of the track to just shoot the train as it runs by.
People making barricades and stuff. That would be really
cool. Oh, man.
So, moving on. You had asked a question before. What if radiation came back?
Yeah, I saw a post on Reddit where we steal all our topics from because we're not creative people. Nope. And it was actually saying the opposite. Someone was like, I kind of wish that radiation never comes back. The exact words were, am I the only one who thinks that radiation should never come back? And I get what they're saying. Since radiation has gone away, rad towns have become a lot more fun. It's been easier to go in and get your blueprints and stuff, or if you're looking for action, go linger around one until people show up and then shoot some faces. It's just been a lot easier to go in there and do stuff and not die, which is fun. But I think one of the side effects we've seen, especially in our server with the clan who shall not be named, is people are, with the addition of external walls, walling in entire monuments. The World Star, radtowns. World Star. But they're walling in the entire thing because there's no radiation there. And while I agree, I think the radiation before was a little bit heavy and deadly, I don't think it should stay away. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think it should come back, at least in the way it was before. But I saw a really interesting suggestion a while back, about almost a week ago now. What they suggested is we keep the rad towns and monuments that we have now and implement some sort of larger irradiated area, a place that you wouldn't be able to get close to without radiation gear. So we have the current gear we have now, we have the current rad towns and ways to get gear, and then you have this place which will have like high level manufactured goods that you wouldn't be able to craft, things that haven't been scrapped and salvaged yet. So you'd be able to get things like the AR-14 actual gun and like actual military gear. And I was thinking like what if it was like a town around a nuclear reactor that caused this? Like what if? And I started thinking, what if that was the lore of these islands, is some kind of nuclear fallout befell these islands and just nobody's going to them. Like we're just trapped on this irradiated hellhole. Yeah. But it was a really good idea of having radiation that was in like a larger area, so it would be like a large area of denial for like all but well-equipped people. And after the work we've done, just the two of us, the last 2 days, I think 2 people could easily...
Which, let me cut in and say that we have been industrious for the first time in our goddamn lives.
We actually built a base that we didn't take.
Finally have a radio tower up. We've been talking about that shit since the live show days. Like, the first live show, I think, before or after. I guess after, because you did the first one by yourself. We talked about building a literal radio tower in server. Never did it until now. So, go us.
I'm proud of us for once. But yeah, you can respond to what I said while I look for that post, see if I miss it.
Okay. That's a very cool idea. It would not solve the problem of the smaller rad towns being walled off, but I really like that idea. Actually give a use for the hazmat gear. Make it a high danger area. People are going in there trying to get the good gear. Shootouts will happen, and you won't have any armor on because you're wearing the hazmat suit, or not as much armor as you typically would. I like that idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea. And in regards to rad towns being walled off, I hate it. Killing on sight is one thing. I'm okay with that. Raiding is one thing. I'm okay with that. That's part of the game. But when you wall off one of the only places to get loot, to get progression, you're effectively blocking people that are even new to the game from ever getting anywhere. It would be like taking the gun from someone that you don't like in Call of Duty, where all they could do is run around and die.
Yeah, and especially with our server going official and a bunch of new players coming in and just new people just to the server, not the game coming in, a lot of people are just getting started. Blueprint-wise, they have nothing. And while, yes, they have not walled off every single rad town, one clan has walled off 2 monuments, a rad town and a sphere. And then another group of people, not even a full clan, I think it's a small group of people, are trying to wall off another rad town. Well, the airfield is on that clan's list. They said they were going to try to wall that one off as well. I don't know if they were serious or if they've kind of given that up yet. But just this small group that lives near us is trying to wall off the rad town right there near us. It's I don't know. I feel like there's dick moves, and then there's
raiding and killing and playing the game, and then there's dick moves, which is this.
denying people from playing the game. That's what this comes down to. And I don't know. I'm sure those clans, groups, whoever, would justify it and really don't care. But, like, if I don't think I would do that. Even if I had the power.
I think the problem is, like, people just accumulate too much in terms of resources. And there's a point where you've built your base, you've built your compound, and you have too much, and you don't have anything to do with it. And I think nerfing yields only goes so far, because that eventually just starts making it harder for small and even medium-sized groups to progress. I think we just need more things to do with our materials, namely our stone. Stone is fucking useless aside from, making like your first base and then making compound walls.
Hey, arrows, man. Arrows are very important.
Yeah, but you're not gonna make 14,000 arrows.
Speak for yourself, son.
I think the solution to this is to make a machine crossbow. Yeah,
crossbow
like an old school Chinese repeater crossbow that shoots at machine gun.
No, I want a minigun that shoots arrows. Made of wood.
No, they need stone. They need the stone, because we need something to do with all this fucking stone.
Well, the stone will go into the arrows. It'll take a specific kind of arrow that is stone expensive, but then just spits it out at an insane rate. Or a turret. Ooh, yeah, that's what we need. An arrow turret.
I think
just thump, 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 thump.
I think we need catapults.
Ooh.
And basically the strength and size and distance of your shot is all dictated by how much stone you put in it.
Yeah, I think Reign of Kings had a good catapult system. They actually had you put stones in to counterbalance it, which affected how far the shot went. But then I think you also could change the load size of it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's true. But that would be cool if you could, Put more stone in to increase the load size, put stone in to affect how far it flies with the counterweight. That could be a good use of stone just for ammunition for that shit.
Oh, man. I remember in Reign of Kings, my brother and I, we built a bridge all the way out into the middle of the ocean, then got rid of the bridge. And out in the middle of the ocean, there was this platform with a catapult aimed directly at the throne, right?
Oh my god.
So when someone would sit on the throne, we'd launch it, and it would fucking snipe the king as he tried to fucking get on it.
That is fantastic.
We had another one aimed at the bridge, so we'd be able to snipe the bridge from time to time, too.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, that was a little broken.
What a beautiful thing. Yeah, I wanted to play Reign of Kings, but it seemed like one of those games that was never gonna be out of early access derp mode.
Yeah, but dude, it's so much fun. If I had the frame rate, I'd be playing a lot more of it.
What were we talking about? I legit forgot.
We were talking about radiation.
Oh, radiation.
I think we covered it. I would like to see a radiation mechanic where, like, honestly, the new Fallout got it pretty good. Is the more radiation you have, the lower your health bar can go up to. So it doesn't kill you per se, but it reduces the maximum health you can have.
Kind of cripples you.
Yeah.
I can see that. Maybe have more advanced effects as you gain more of it.
Yeah.
Maybe bring back the legacy rads counter.
Yeah, or at some point, like, you just get full-blown Hiroshima mode where, like, you start growing nasty bits off your body and crippling pain, because that's what radiation really does to you.
But then you also can breathe fire.
Yeah, but it burns your lungs as you do it.
Ooh, that's a fair trade. I'd take that.
Slowly dying to breathe fire? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Godzilla mode, baby.
Alright. Do you have anything else to add to this discussion?
No, man.
All right, then
I don't speak intelligently. It's
I
not
guess
my job.
we'll move on to the local news.
Ting 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 ting. In local news, the infamous Doctor Clan are at it again. They have already, as of the last podcast, walled in the North Radtown. Shortly after that, they walled in the World Star. We've already shared our thoughts on this.
They walled in our precious monument, our holy monument.
They've walled in our Lord and Savior, the World Star.
Which is unforgivable.
Unforgivable. In multiple senses of the word. One, it's blasphemy, but also you're kind of ruining the game for everyone. If you guys could stop doing that.
I should note that, like, while they do these kind of dickish things, they have never actually seemed to be rude to people. Like, I've never had them... Like, they've killed me numerous times, but they've never talked shit. They've never been like, oh, get wrecked, faggot, and teabagged me, you know? They just kind of kill me, do their thing, and go on. Like, one time one of them thanked me for the stuff they stole from me, but that's no big deal.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a genuine thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all the stuff. Man, I heard so much shit on me, man. I was mining for 20 minutes.
Man. Yeah, no, there's a certain amount of respect I can give someone when they can shoot you and not be, a 12-year-old about it. But, I don't know. They've not only walled in their North Radtown, they walled in the World Star. They're planning on building a walled-in road between the two, if I'm not mistaken. So they can just fucking travel between the two with more or less zero interruption. And then I also heard rumors that they're trying to do it to the airfield also. Which is a side note, there have been 0 gorilla sightings in the airfield lately, which leads me to believe that the gorillas have been made extinct. Good riddance.
These guys were funny.
Fuck them.
Oh, man.
Speak English or nothing, primate.
I guess we'll move on to OTP&M is the newest business to pop up on the PlayRust Public server. They offer jobs in various industries. Let me pull up their little sheet here. They are offering jobs in forestry, wildlife management services, and maintenance and janitorial. They offer a wide range of benefits for full-time employees, including room and board, flexible schedules, blueprint education opportunities, paid volunteer time, fun events off-sites, 401k matching program, and full medical and dental.
I love it.
They are also a sponsor of the show.
They are. And we are very thankful for their sponsorship. I love all this business that's been going on in Rust. From the time that I started playing Rust again, I don't know, a couple months back, I've been seeing trade shops and just all this stuff popping up, like people making legitimate businesses, but I've never seen someone take it as far as these guys have with the whole employment opportunities and everything.
My favorite business was the Wolfgang Realty Association.
What was that?
They would raid bases and take them over and then sell them to people. Well, they would lease them to people. So you had to keep paying. And if you didn't, they repossessed it.
That's great. I love it. I love the creative shit that people make up to make the game more interesting. Some people go and they wall off entire playing fields of the game. Other people make a business.
Yeah. The rest is very, very varied kind of game.
It's as fun as you make it. It's one of those. You could sit around and just whack trees all day and shoot people, and that could be what you do for fun. Or you can make up your own story about it, do a bit of role playing, and that's half the fun. It's kind of making up your own story about what you're doing.
Speaking of role playing, you visited a server the other day that's very interesting to our radio station.
What a segue, huh?
I'm good at those segues.
I fucking did that. I set that up. Don't take credit for that.
What? No.
That was all me.
you set up the thing. I was just doing a segue.
I said roleplay, wink, wink, and set you up for that. That was all me. Don't listen to him, listeners.
I didn't realize that's what your intention was.
I'm just giving you shit.
Totally
yes, I did.
Intentional.
I did. I went to the Rust faction server. I saw a post about it somewhere. Reddit, no doubt.
Community update.
Yep, that was it. Thank you, our fearless leader. Yes, I saw Rust factions get mentioned on the community update. Gave them a big boost in population and apparently attracted reporters such as myself. So I couldn't help but be interested. You know, my last field report was very violent, very archaic. I was scared most of the time. I saw lots of death, and I figured this would be different. You know, they role play. There's a legitimate, as the title implies, factions. Each faction has its own role play. It's required, in fact, to have its own role play and story and mantra, if you will. You have to make a post about it on the Reddit before you officially can do your faction thing. If you don't go about it the right way, they'll actually kick you off the server, which I like. They're very very strict with that, as it should be, because it's very hard to keep servers like this going. For example, I used to play Arma 3 a lot, and the big thing in Arma 3 that I feel like a lot of people buy it for, which is beyond me, is playing Arma 3 Life, the various mods and servers and
stuff. Those are
stuff.
actually really fun. Like, if you actually get into them, they're a lot of fun.
They can be, but at the same time, it's very difficult to keep it monitored and keep the role play consistent with everyone.
Role play communities have to be pretty tightly managed. Like, they can be a lot of fun, but you have to have an active, like, moderation base to it. Like, the people in charge of it have to be... You have to have someone on at almost all times to make sure someone's not just going around killing people, you know?
Yeah. Because that's inevitable, especially when a server like Rust Faction starts to blow up. The community update gave them a definite population boost, and they've already, just since I visited, they've had a couple people, groups come in and try and make just fucking raid on site bandit, or kill on site raiding bandit clans. Like, there was one clan in particular, MDF, not clan, faction, MDF, came, and they declared war on the entire server. And they were, like, iffy about whether that's actually allowed or not. And they're just douchebags, is basically all it came down to. They were the people who get on a roleplay server and ruin it for everyone. And I think they actually destroyed their clan, their faction, and they're not allowed on anymore. But there's a lot of cool factions on there. The couple that I spent time with were the Ice faction, which is up in the north, of course. It's like a independent area. Anyone can come and join and build in there, and they've got community like furnaces and art galleries, and there's like community leaders. Shout out to Killer Move. He gave me a very, very nice tour of the entire place. We'll get to that later. I also spent some time in New Providence, which is a legitimate city, independent city. It's got streets with names and shops and sheriff's departments and everything.
How do they form the streets?
It's so cool. Well, the entire city is on a single block of foundations, right? So they just leave like 2 or 3 foundations wide, and it's a street.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool. It's very cool. I've never seen something like it. And then there's like community farm off to the side. They have, like I said, sheriffs, and they have apartment buildings. And there was an evicted building where the guy wasn't paying his rent or whatever. It was just being a dick, and then just sent him out on his own.
Oh man, it kind of makes me want to go on there and just be like a local city thug holding people up behind gas stations and shit.
Oh my god. That guy. It's a ton of fun. While I was there, well, I won't get into it. We'll get into that later. But it's very tempting. I love servers like this. They're a ton of fun, a breath of fresh air.
All right. Well, I guess you recorded what's it called? The thing.
What's it called? I went there. I recorded a bunch. I interviewed people and put together the second official field report. So, without further ado, I present Field Report Factions. I wash up on shore. I look around for people, wolves, bears, the like. It's only habit at this point. This is how I start all of my field reports. But I see nothing. I listen for footsteps or gunshots or the clack-clack of a gun being drawn. Again, nothing. It's disturbing at first. I'm so used to entering war zones during my travels that not seeing any immediate signs of danger leaves me disoriented for a moment. But I gather myself and move inland. The first thing that I see is a wall. That's it, just a big wall. I can't see the end of it in either direction. I'm curious what's behind it though, so I pick a direction, start walking, searching for higher ground to see over it or something like that. I make my way to a hill, tall enough to see just over the stacked stones, and I lay eyes on massive structures surrounding an airfield. Spikes and watchtowers and rude signs are everywhere, but there's no sign of anyone just yet. Even though I'm alone, I can't shake the feeling that I'm not safe here. Turns out, I wasn't. But that comes later. I begin to walk farther inland. I walk and walk and walk. I see quarries in the fields, beautiful forests, rivers, all in relative peace and quiet that I'm very unaccustomed to. Had I stumbled into a more civilized land? I mull it over as I continue to walk, eventually rising up over the crest of a grassy hill and being greeted by a walled city. Massive in size, built over the surface of a lake, a marvel of engineering in itself. I pause for a moment, my war instincts taking over briefly. I begin to scan the city, looking for movement, and lay eyes on a small group of people. I crouch lower to avoid being spotted, but as I watch, I realize that those people aren't being aggressive. They aren't storming the city looking for victims or breaking into houses and stealing goods and materials. They're just talking, hanging out. I watch long enough to confirm there are no immediate threats and timidly creep down to the gate and say hello.
This is not a safe place. You must leave. You must leave right now.
I begin to think that I've made a terrible mistake when...
Don't listen to him.
I'm just messing with you. Come on.
They welcome me into their city, and they inform me that I've arrived in New Providence. It's an independent town, not under the rulership of any government or faction. Anyone is welcome here as long as you don't cause trouble. But if you do...
Well, I'm the officer of this very fine town we have here.
That's Sheriff Shaky Moo Moo.
People around here call me Shaky.
He gives me a tour of the town and talks to me about how you keep a town like this running smoothly. It's not an easy task.
You know, they come in here, they run amok, you just gotta shoot some of them, put some in their places, and they turn around.
And the locals I speak to say that they enjoy living here and that they wouldn't have it any other way.
The only people you should trust are the independent, the militia, people like me who got each other. No government. You know what I mean, man? The government will be there to help you. But when it comes down to, like, people you can trust, is us.
This does make me curious, though. Why do independents not trust local governments? Are they abusive? Are they overbearing to their citizens, violent even? Or are these guys just crazy? I mean, they're probably all crazy, but in the interest of good journalism, I need to go and find out for myself. I ask Shaky for directions to the nearest government-run land, which he informs me is ICE. So, I say my goodbyes and make my way out of town. Before I leave, though, Shaky says he has one final thing to broadcast.
Don't trust the NCR.
Don't trust NCR. And shout out to my mom and dad birthing me, and shout out to MFDs for being the biggest fuckboys on the server. And I'm out.
I have genital warts.
I'm freezing. Ice is unsurprisingly located in the far north, where temperatures drop well below fucking tits out, bruh, even during the day. But I finally reach a large wooden checkpoint. Intimidating in its design, with signs demanding you announce your presence in Iceland, I yell out as loud as I can. I listen to my voice bounce around the mountains and rocky hills, and finally a voice comes back in acknowledgement. It seems word of a traveling reporter has already made its way here. I'm informed the leader is on his way down to meet me. For the time being, I explore around. Houses and buildings line the road leading into the heart of the Icelands. I stop at a tavern and make use of their fireplace to cook myself some food. My journey's left me very hungry. The tavern is empty though, seeing as it's early morning. I see a man building up his wooden circular house by the road. We talk briefly, he's friendly enough. I continue on though, and stumble upon the local trade shop. It's closed unfortunately, so I make use of the furnace that's across the street. It's a community furnace. I'm feeling a little bit empty, without any kind of weapons on me. Journalist or not, I don't like being defenseless. More men approach me and make conversation until a man in a pre-event riot helmet approaches.
Hello, greetings. Welcome to Iceland.
I can tell by his demeanor that he is someone of importance. He informs me that his name is Killer Move and that he helps run the Icelands. We get to talking about what it's like to be a resident in the Icelands.
Yes, as you can see, even though it is quite icy, it is still very warm. Our citizens and settlers are nice people. No criminals inhabit these lands.
He offers to give me a tour of their homeland.
I will give you a tour.
I accept, eager to see what there is in store. We see the jail, which is in the middle of construction. He takes me by the government centers, the palaces of their leaders, the various stores and public meeting places that dot the landscape. I can't help but enjoy myself here. After a long time of dodging bullets and spears and arrows, finding something akin to a civilized world is, well, frankly, it's startling. I don't know how to act. Every time a citizen approaches me, I can't help but reach for the revolver I've been hiding in my pants. My usual brand of journalism is a lot bloodier ever since Woorrrrllddstarrrrr, but here I feel at home? Well, almost. Home to me is a dirty studio full of sparking wires and empty liquor bottles. Gunshots echoing through the valleys, explosions rocking the airfield, naked men wielding rocks with deadly efficiency. And, suddenly, I'm desperately homesick. This place is impressive and civilized and safe, but I hadn't pulled my revolver on a single person this trip, and frankly, my trigger finger was getting itchy. Also, where is the alcohol here? I decide it's time to take what I've learned and return home. I ask a resident near me if he's heard of a large wall surrounding an airfield because that's where I parked my PlayRust PublicRadio. His eyes get wide. Breathing quickens. He informs me that's deep in BL territory. BL? I ask. Blood letters. Great. I illegally parked my raft in the most dangerous area of the entire island. I ask for directions, he points a shaky finger, and I depart. Though I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking forward to this trip. Across the bridge clearly labeled BL. I decide it's best not to announce my presence there. I figure I have a higher chance of going undetected if I try to sneak my way through. Heavily forested land, I creep my way through the wooded floor, keeping my wits about me, feeling alive for the first time this entire trip. The wall comes into view, though I'm on the opposite side that I need to be. I begin to skirt around it when I notice a single ladder leading up over the wall, and I pause. Glancing back and forth between the safety of the forest and the unknown wonders that ladder could lead me to, I'm reminded of something someone said once. Fuck it. I don't know who said that. Facts aren't important in journalism, but he or she is right. I sprint to the ladder. Climbing the wall, I peek over to make sure the coast is clear. I see a destroyed house right away, maybe a victim of BL territorial expansion, but the coast is clear. As my feet hit the ground, I realize a tiny flaw in the plan. How am I gonna get back out? Whoops. Guess I'll have to improvise. I move around a large rock formation and set eyes on the airfield. I see a watchtower, multiple bases, something that resembles a temple, I guess, but no sign of life just yet. I move into the airfield. It's just like the one back home. I peruse through the crates and barrels left behind looking for souvenirs to bring home. I'm reaching for a piece of paper with a sandbag drawing on it when I freeze. My ears perk up. Footsteps, and getting louder. Closer. I drop the blue thing and move silently into a corner of the hangar. The steps keep getting closer. They've moved in between my hangar and the one adjacent. Suddenly, they stop. I hear banging. Sounds like hatchet on a barrel. No, a trash can. Footsteps again. Closer and closer to the mouth of the hangar where I am hiding. I pull out my revolver and steel myself, ready for action. But at the last minute, a yell comes echoing across the field. A human voice. Words, hard to distinguish. Finally, I focus enough to realize that it's insults? Someone is hurling insults at the BL from an unknown location. The person opposite the wall stops, turns, and runs off in the direction of the voice. From one dickbag with a death wish to another, I thank whoever that was. I decide that my luck has run out and make my way to the wall that I first saw when I arrived. BL had thankfully built ramps up the side, allowing me to hop over and run to my raft. I load my items and shove off, looking forward to home, a warm gun, and lots of liquor. I feel like I hadn't seen all there was to see on this island, though. I decide in that moment that I will soon return. But for now, this has been Field Report Factions.
Alright, I hope you all enjoyed the field report. I know I sure as hell did. I'm also proud to...
Insincere. Insincere.
Move.
I definitely enjoyed that. Wow. That was great.
I definitely will enjoy that when I add it into the podcast. How about that behind the scenes for you,
Yeah.
dickhead? Anyway, if I'm not interrupted again, I am proud to announce that we are going to be doing a local news segment on the Rust Faction server. Now, we can't do it all on our own because a lot of stuff happens there, so if you play on that server and wars are declared, or there's a uptick in bandit activity on the road, or just anything that you feel is newsworthy, go ahead and message Skunkbunk or I on Reddit or wherever. And if it's newsworthy, we'll put it in. We'll make the decision. You don't got to think about it. Just say, hey, this, that, or the other happened. And it'll probably end up in the show.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. We have to spend a lot of time making sure we don't get our shit pushed in on our server, so we cannot always visit yours to see what's going on.
But I do think I want to build a legit radio station on that server. I think that's one thing I want to do.
Definitely. I mean, it's probably never going to happen because we just now got our first radio station built, so a second one happening immediately after is unlikely, but hey, dream big.
We did finally just get our shit together
Like
for once.
But, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll float endlessly through space because stars are really fucking far away. Are you stupid?
You will get there eventually.
Probably not.
Your bones will get there eventually.
Probably.
The dust that was once your ship will get there
I tweeted that on my personal account one time and it killed. The shoot for the moon thing. Thought of that myself. That's an original joke. Thank you. I accept all paid forms of currency for joke writing.
Which no one pays for these days.
Nope, except our loving sponsors for the day's show. Today's other sponsor, is our neighbors. You know, the ones with the guns and armor and explosives.
Yeah. They're great people. They politely and in a non-threatening manner asked to sponsor today's show. What a nice group of guys.
And handsome, too. They asked me to reiterate that I am not being held at gunpoint right now. Nope, not me. That'd be bad.
They're good neighbors. Neighborly as hell.
Thanks,
friendly neighbors.
Friendly neighbors. Punch Drawston in the fucking face.
You weren't supposed to read that. That's show notes.
Oh, you're right. I'm supposed to actually do it.
Yeah, go ahead and take a 4-hour road trip and punch me in the face.
Hiya. Are we done?
Yeah, that was the show, and surprisingly, that actually lasted quite a while. So, yet again, we're going to end the show on an abrupt and awkward note. Goodbye, everybody.
Wah. Goodbye, everybody. It's time to go.
Oh, bye.
La na 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 dun dun mama.
What the fuck is wrong with you? It just doesn't stop.
Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow,
totally including all of this.
Carry on. You forget that I have the final edit, so I'm cutting this shit out, yo.
Fuck.
Fuck you. Bum 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 bum. I see a little silhouette of a man. Got the moose.
Please, if you
can you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frighteningly. Galileo, 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 Galileo. Galileo Figaro, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare him his life from this monstrosity. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Easy come, easy go. Will you let me know? Is will I know you when I let him go? Let him go. Something like that. I'm done. Yeah, that was good.